I'm Leontine Petit and I'm a Dutch producer, and I'm over here because I get a co-production award for the Prix EURIMAGES. I studied philosophy and history, and while slowly becoming a philosopher, I thought at a certain point maybe it's better to find a real job. So no, I'm joking, but immediately after my study of philosophy, I somehow was so interested in film that I found out that you could also become a producer. So basically I started from scratch and worked a lot for different kind of producers, and so that's the way I learned my profession. And in 1995 I did EFA, one of the first EFA courses there were. And after EFA I did ACE, after ACE I did EFA Plus, and so I was always very interested in doing European co-productions. I think when I started producing, co-production was not that natural. Not many people did this, but I think now it's much more something that people do, although it's still a very small group in Europe, I think, who actually do a lot of co-productions. And this has to do with the fact that it's still quite complicated. It's easier just to get money from one or two sources than get money from 4 or 5 sources, which are also from different countries with different regulations. So, but it changed. We need each other more, especially the small countries, I think. And in certain countries it was more natural. For example, the French part of Belgium normally always co-produced with France. German countries like Germany, Switzerland and Austria were co-producing also on a natural level. But nowadays it becomes also more common for Germany just to co-produce with Poland or with Hungary or with France. So they changed a lot in terms of co-production. It's more complicated, but also because I make it more complicated, because you can still say that you just do it the simple way. But I think for most of the productions we do, I tend to find money abroad because of 2 reasons. One is economic, because I get a better budget, and if I have a better budget I can make a higher quality in general. And the second reason is that very often there is talent, or there are post-production companies that do, for this particular part of a film, do a better job than what we have in Holland. So no, in general I would say it became more complicated. And I'm even at the moment, I don't know if you read it somewhere, but I'm one of the founders of a network called Bridging the Dragon, which means that I have, together with a colleague, I have this big idea to also try to cooperate together with China. So that's what we try to encourage and try to find the right partners in China, that's really quite complicated. I think on the one hand it's probably the best award that I ever get in my life. I don't expect myself to get an Oscar, and even if I get an Oscar, I think this one is maybe more important for me. This sounds really maybe a little bit too much, but I think for me to get a prize out of Europe is extremely important, because I'm a real passionate European. So that's on the one hand for me very important and a very beautiful prize to get that recognition. On the other hand, I think it will mean that more people will recognize the fact that I'm a big European believer, and that it's very important to make European co-production. So I hope to get even better and nicer projects than I already had. But I can hardly imagine, because I had some really, really nice ones, but it's something that I hope it will attract good projects. I'm worried, like everybody else. But I especially think that will also be reflected in my speech tonight. I especially think it's extremely important to understand that Europe is a miracle. It's not something we should forget. We should not take it for granted. And I would like to really, us as filmmakers, to understand that we have a duty in a way for everybody, that we remember everybody that it's such an important thing, this European feeling, all these European ideals that we have. And so I don't understand why so many people say it's a curse that we have to oppose, but I really think we should cherish these norms and values of Europe.